The third point that I mentioned, really science-driven. During a crisis like this, policymakers, politicians, city leaders, they all were facing situation that is unknown before. You are entering a situations where you have no previous experience. Unlike other crises, unlike other disasters, where it happens once and then we started to do recovery. Give you examples. You have earthquake, you have tsunami, you have flood. It happens on a particular day, and then the days after that, you start doing recovery. But this time, it happens today, it happens tomorrow, it happens next week, it happens next month. And we are talking about human here. We're not simply talking about statistics. One of our difficult times is whenever myself is 6 p.m. every day. That was one of the most painful hours every day. Why 6 p.m. is painful? Because at 6 p.m. I will be receiving updates from our Department of Cemetery informing how many funeral services is being done on that particular day. The cutoff is 6 p.m. for the past 24 hours. And you waited at 5:30, you wanted to see a decline from yesterday. And then when you see an increase, my God, it is going up. And then another going up. And emotionally, it was very taxing because you are not talking about statistics. These are individuals with families. And we met many of them. So the approach that we had to adopt is an approach that relies on scientific approach, relied on data. Something that we have been doing in the past, we didn't realize it explicitly, but during a crisis like this, you really have to rely on that. Rely on science, rely on the scientists to give us guidance. And it is easy to distinguish policymakers, those who trust on instincts and those who trust on data and trust on science. That was the period. So of all challenges, this is the time, the pandemic was the time for us to actually reflect that we have to train ourselves to start listening more to the scientists on many issues, not only on the issue of pandemic, but the pandemic is an eye-opening event that forces us to adopt that. So that has been our approach. And all along, the others are small technicalities. You started enlarging the testing capacity, you start enlarging tracing capacity, all of that is just technicalities. But the key is, one, willingness to learn and to unlearn, willingness to put priority on saving lives, and the approach is that let's make sure that the general public trusts government. Without trust, we're not going to go anywhere in terms of moving the entire society. The challenges of those numerous. It's more technicalities. So I'll end my initial remark here. I'm happy to entertain comments and questions, and you're welcome to ask any questions regarding this subject. Thank you.